and welcome to Business 300. My name is Philip Kulashov, and this is 300 Seconds About Business. We're all a busy people, so I have 5 minutes or less to get my point across. Don't worry, this will be over in no time. Last week, the thermostat at our house stopped working. The house needed heat, and the furnace wasn't getting the message. Which reminds me. Now, this may be a cheesy and overused metaphor, but I'm gonna use it anyhow. It's helpful, which may be why it's used so much. Business managers should see themselves as thermostats, apart from other things, of course. Thermostats gauge the temperature and then respond accordingly. That's the role of the organization leader. First, as the leader, you need to have a gauge on the temperature in your organization. Maybe you manage a small team, or maybe there are a lot that you're responsible for. Either way, if you don't have a way to gauge the temperature, you'll keep tripping over things you didn't see coming. Now, this is an important qualification. Gauging your organization's temperature is not in order for you to know where you should go. If you're setting the course based on what the people you're pretending to lead are telling you, then you're not really leading anybody. The leader is the one who sets the agenda and the initiative, and then rallies the team to that future. If by gauging the temperature, you determine that the team doesn't want to go where you're leading, and so you stop going there, then you have forfeited the initiative to those who you were supposed to be leading. You gauge the temperature not to determine the destination, but to help you plan how you're going to get there. To change metaphors, the captain of the ship sails differently in calm waters versus stormy waters and prepares for what's coming. But he still has the destination in view and charts his way accordingly. So, when I encourage you to gauge the temperature and respond accordingly, I'm not saying to forfeit the initiative. I am saying that your approach and methods will and should differ depending on what the temperature read is. Without paying attention to the temperature of your team inside your organization and of the market outside of it, you charge forward blindly and wonder why you keep tripping. Many obstacles can be averted or at least managed much better when the business manager is paying attention to the signals. So, how does a leader gauge and respond to the temperature? 2 ways, I will tell you. 3 to keep it interesting. First, the business manager needs to be present. He needs to have a constant presence in the area that he is leading, internally with his team and externally in the market. As much as possible, this means his actual literal presence. Be where the action is, talk to the people, walk the shop floor. Don't think you can manage a company just by looking at statements or key performance indicators. Where there are people, there are emotions. And where there are emotions, there is nuance and complications requiring your presence. Paint by number does not work when building a business. Behind every data input is an emotional being. If the leader isn't present, he's not equipped to understand the circumstance. As the organization grows, obviously you can't literally be present everywhere all the time, but you do need to set up ways for your presence to be connected to the source of activity while you're not there. Whether you have managers you can trust, systems you can rely on, or other methods of connection with your team, the presence of the leader is more important to the success of the organization than any managerial technique. Along with his presence, the business manager also needs to be attentive. Are your people happy? What are their concerns? What are the problems holding your company back? What are your customers not happy about? What are they happy about? What are your suppliers doing? The leader's presence, directly as much as possible and indirectly as much as necessary, is critical, but it's useless if the leader is not paying attention. Have your sensor in the air and then read the temperature. And last, after having a constant presence and paying attention, set the path. Your vision sets the future state, the destination. Your presence and attention informs the current state, the circumstance. And in response, with all that in mind, you set the path to cross the chasm. So, gauge the temperature and lead the way. Be present, pay attention, and set the path.